How's it going, folks? Today we're gonna switch up the content a little bit for this video. Obviously some stuff has happened, and I know some people are confused. I just wanted to clear the air about what's been going on. For those of you folks that are not on my Instagram, maybe you didn't see the little YouTube post, I recently did a little video with New England Reptile. I got to go there for a couple of days. I hung out with everyone, and I had a really good time over here on my community. You guys were really awesome. You guys were pretty stoked to see that the quote-unquote beef was squashed. But I know there are other people out there that are a little bit confused and maybe a little bit upset because really, I think that stems from a lot that people don't really see the inside stuff. They're only going off the fact that they saw those YouTube videos and then they see me at Nerd and everyone's kind of like, what the fuck's going on? So I want to take today, set the record straight, talk a little bit about the behind the scenes stuff of my feelings, and then hopefully I can change some perspectives on how people view me. To make a really long story short, I never had any beef. There was no beef between me and New England Reptile. If you guys have been a fan of the channel for, well, I guess the longer viewers, you know I've been a Kevin fanboy. I have said such nice things about Kevin for the longest time in all these videos. We have a Quince monitor from New England Reptile. I've never had any problems with New England Reptile, or Kevin specifically. I only held them in the utmost respect. Go ahead, I'll set the stage what's been going on behind the scenes that really procced those videos to be made, I guess. And then we'll go into, you know, actually how I was able to actually go to Nerd and see all the amazing things they have, meet Kevin McCurley, and all the stuff with that. So we'll go in kind of like that order. So starting out, the Nerd videos. I know that's what people are really kind of like, what the fuck about. To put it months earlier, months prior to those videos ever being made, you know, I held Nerd in such a huge respect, and I really wanted to do a collab with Nerd, and it's always so strange, the chain of events that lead one. Like, I got the Nerd collab. I was able to meet and hang out with Kevin McCurley and every one of the crew at Nerd. I had such a fucking amazing time there. But these months prior, about maybe even like a year ago at this point, that's what I wanted to do. And I set my goal. I was like, I want to meet Kevin McCurley. And I thought, well, with how busy of a guy Kevin is, there's only one person that'll really get me into that, and that's going to be going through Donnie. That's what I did. I pestered Donnie, I sent him a couple messages. I even went so far of going on his Twitch live stream, trying to get the dude to give me a chance to go to Nerd. And it didn't work. It didn't happen. He told me straight up. He wasn't mean about it or anything. He just told me straight up, you know, we're not going to be able to do it. It's not going to happen. Left me on read on my Instagram messages. I finally, I think I had to give Donnie money on Twitch for him to fucking answer me. And the answer was no, and that was fine. It's whatever. I was a little salty about it, but you know, you move on from these kinds of things. Time goes on and Donnie starts making these little review videos, the attack pieces, I think I called them. And at first, I enjoyed them. I thought they were doing really good stuff for the hobby. The first one with the Reptile channel, that was absolutely fantastic. Nerd shut down the Reptile channel. You know, remember that awful thing where they were live feeding these just horrendous stuff, awful stuff? I believe they got that shit down, and that was awesome. But as the videos kept going on, I felt personally they kept making a little bit less of an impact each time. And then we finally get to the Chandler one, which personally, and I think it's still my personal opinion today, I don't remember this shit because it was so long ago. I make so much of this stuff, I don't remember most of it. But I remember at that time, my feelings were, I don't think this is really a valid video. I think these criticisms are a little far-fetched. And again, this was just for me only having that outside perspective, not hearing the behind-the-scenes stuff and what was going on behind that little, words, you know? I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. I only saw that video, and with that context in mind, it sparked me to make a response piece. I saw no one else was doing it. Everyone was just kind of like going along with it, and so I wanted to hit the waters, make some waves, and obviously get some views, because God knows when you put Nerd and Chandler into one video, you're gonna make some YouTube money, and so I figured, fuck it, let's send it. I'm gonna make a response piece to this one video. In my mind, that was really gonna be it. I did my thing. I did my little response. It did well. I got some views. Most of you guys are pretty kosher with it. Everyone, we all seem to have like the same mindset that we all love New England Reptile. We still love New England Reptile, the business, but we don't like what Donnie Rapture's doing to the YouTube channel. One more thing before we keep going. I think I need to make a clarification in the videos I did before. When I say New England Reptile, I'm talking about the YouTube channel, which evidently it's just a longer way of saying Donnie. My issues really stemmed from him, not New England Reptile as a whole. Just the YouTube channel when I said all the things that I said, I guess. Weird video to make, but I want to set the record on, I know some people have some misconceptions, so I'm trying to like coherently make a thought process on this timeline that I didn't think I was going to do. That was it, I was done, and we were moving on to the regular broadcasted content that we do on this channel. But then I got a message from Tyler Nolan and Chandler's Wildlife, which was a really big deal for me. Not because, you know, not from the points where I'm like, oh my god, Tyler Nolan, Chandler Wild, but it was the fact that larger creators messaged me. At this time, I was such a small fry. We barely had any subs and followers. Granted, the subs aren't that great on this channel. We're doing a lot better on our other platforms at this point, but it was a big deal to me, for larger creators to reach out and actually message me. It made me feel like, oh shit, you know, people, you know, I'm actually, you know, I got people that are like much larger than me and doing this for a much longer time messaging me. That was a really cool thing. And so at that point, things are awesome, man. You know, I'm talking to Chandler and Tyler, we're shooting the shit, everything's good. I'm planning a collab over there, if you guys remember that. We were about to head over to Florida, do a little collaboration video with those guys, and then the croc bite happened, and shortly after the New England Reptile bite video response thing took place. And at this point, I consider myself friends with Chandler. I think we're buddies, you know, we talk, all that good stuff. I have nothing but good things to say about him. We've had nothing but nice exchanges, and he's actually been talking to me. Meanwhile, we have Donnie, who has belittled me at this point. I believe, you know, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, I was just some dude with 1,000 Instagram followers, blah, 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 and then just leaving me on scene on Instagram, all of that good stuff. So you can kind of see in my mind, well, it's like, well, these people are actually taking the time to talk, you know, all that shit. They want to set up a collaboration, even though I have a small following. Meanwhile, you've got this dude who is just kind of being a dick. That's kind of summing that all up. So I made the other video. I wanted to secure my place as Chandler's friend, and I wanted to rattle Donnie a little bit, even though, you know, again, I am a small channel at the end of the day. I didn't think it was going to rattle too much, but another good view grab. Keeps that alliance between me and Chandler good, and I get a mess with Donnie. What could be better? I think it was at that point when I made that second video, my people's perspective of me kind of changed. I suddenly became that guy that was going to make response videos from New England Reptile. Every time they would make a new video, I would get, you know, I would be bombarded with messages of people saying, oh, when are you going to make a response video to this one? This one, there was this Jacob Sartorius one. When are you going to do a response video with this one? And that's when I was kind of like, fuck, man. I think I made a mistake doing that second video with people thinking like, now I'm the dude that rips into New England Reptile, that's ripping into people, and that's really not who I want to be. Because at that point, I kind of just dropped the whole thing, right? There's supposed to be a continuation on that second video. I never even made it. It was sitting in my editing box. I ended up just deleting the footage, and I moved on. I kind of tried to brush under the rug and just continue going on with the same content that we have been doing. Fast forward a couple of months later, or I guess it's been almost half a year at this point, and I get the opportunity to go to Nerd and talk to Kevin. I've got a buddy that wanted to bring me a tokay gecko for him, and so he was like, let's just go meet at Nerd. I'm good buddies with Nerd, and I can get you to meet Kevin. I know there's probably a fraction of these people that are like, oh, Dakota's just doing it for views. He's trying to, you know, to get them both pots, whatever. He just goes to New England because he wants to get the views from New England Reptile. I didn't want to go. I was scared to go to New England Reptile after I made those videos because, like, I don't know, like, I did. I talked shit about him. Like, granted, I didn't really talk shit about the employees in New England Reptile or Kevin McCurley. I was just being a smartass and having fun with it. But I made a negative piece about them, and I didn't want to go over there. But I got talked into it. I eventually went. I'm very happy that I went. It was an awesome experience. But for the people that are like, oh, he wanted to go to get the views, I did not want to go. I had to be convinced to go over there. Said, had an amazing time, went out, had dinner, everything was cool, you know, I felt like it was a good experience, and then we just moved on. And now, fast forward to, this is the part, this never really changed my opinion on Kevin. I never had a negative view on Kevin. I know people might think that I do. I always held him in high regards, but what he did really didn't change my perspective on him so much, because there was never a bad perspective on him, but it changed how I viewed how we should treat everyone in the hobby, and really like changed my way of thinking. Again, if you guys are on my Instagram, I don't think I've ever posted this on YouTube because I was just too terrified. Our power went out for a couple of days over here, and we had very low temperatures coming at us at night. It was going to be about 14 degrees, and my collection would not have survived it. I was scrambling, trying to figure out things to do, and that's when, through a third party, I got into contact with Kevin, and he lent me one of his generators to keep my collection alive. I think that is just such an amazing thing, dude. The only thing that Kevin has to know me from is me making talking shit pieces about him. And he said, well, whatever, you know, I care about your animals. I don't want your animals to get hurt. I'm gonna lend you that generator even though you made these negative pieces about me. And that was insane to me, dude. Like, even if someone that he necessarily maybe doesn't like, or maybe he just doesn't know about me, I don't know. But he found it in his heart to be like, and it was a pain in the ass too. It like wasn't like an easy thing. He went out of his way to do this for me. And I just think that was absolutely incredible. Yeah, man, to wrap that the whole little saga up, we went there. I have a couple of videos that I did with them. I learned a hell of a lot of stuff, not just from Kevin, but from a lot of the employees there. Dustin specifically gave me a lot of tips on monitor socialization that we will be doing with those little quinces here in a little bit. And yeah, man, nothing but a great time. Nothing but great things to say about him, and all in all, just an amazing experience. And like I said, those videos will be coming out, but I wanted to get this one out first so everyone kind of doesn't get very confused when those videos come out, I guess. Boys and girls, wrapping this up with some closing statements that I want to make sure that people know. Number one, this isn't a flip-flop thing of like, oh, he was Team Chandler, but now he's Team New England Reptile, and anything like that. I don't want to play those games. I don't want to do anything like that. I think they're both cool people, and I would like to be friends with both of them. I don't want to have to be put in a place where I have to be negative or hold negative connotations about one person in order to be secure in another person's place. That just isn't what I want to do over here. Two, there will be no more of those kinds of videos. I never made that many. I think 4 altogether with between 2 different I made 2 videos on 2 different creators. I don't want to do that shit anymore. You know, it's not what I want for my brand, and I really want to get this channel back to being what it was originally about, and that's the breeding business. That's about the animals and the projects we do over here. So this will be the last you hear about any drama on the DBCB, oh shit, now it's Dakota Blue, on the Dakota Blue Exotics YouTube channel. We also changed the name. I don't know if anyone noticed that. I only have so many people saying DCVCBA Exotics so long before I figured, you know what, it's time to make a change. And so I guess we're gonna wrap both of those points into one video. Incredible. Ending everything out, Donnie Rapture, still not a fan. I'm sorry, I love everyone at New England Reptile, but Donnie, I'm just not too big of a fan. Maybe one day we can sit down, we can hash out our differences, and I'd have a new change of mind. I did listen to the MJ podcast, and you know, there was a lot of cool stuff in there. Like, for people that don't like Donnie, I do recommend listening to that podcast because it will kind of change some things you have. It's hard to hash out our differences when you keep leaving me on read, Donnie. I'm trying to be really nice to you. I don't want any issues with you, but I don't know. I don't know what to do, man. I'm sorry. So yeah, man, I think that's it. I think that's all the stuff I wanted to get out there for the public. So hopefully people think differently about me, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully people are a little bit less confused on everything that went down and what's going down further. There's gonna be no more drama. I don't want beef with anybody, man. This is a new year, new me. I want to do what I want to do. I just want to make content about the animals. I don't want to get sucked up in all the drama and the politics and everything like that. It was good for views, I won't lie. I got some views off of it. We got some subs off of it. But that's not how I want to make my legacy. It's not what I want for the brand. Yeah, man, I think that is about it. A little bit of a different thing, just a long me just talking nonstop, and hopefully what was somewhat of a coherent video. But yeah, I think that's going to be it. Next thing you guys can see are the videos I did with New England Reptile. Really awesome stuff. Very excited. A lot of footage to edit down. They're definitely going to be longer videos. I don't want to have to take stuff out in order to like be cool with YouTube, because there was just so much cool stuff that I was able to see over there. So they're definitely going to be long videos, and it's going to be a good time. Thank you, boys, for sticking around for another video of Dakota Blue Exotics. That's gonna be a weird thing. I'll have to it's gonna be strange getting used to that instead of the other one. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Until next time, I'll see you guys on Saturday. Until then, goodbye.